So what does that term mean, vibration? Like, you hear it a lot in spiritual circles. They're like, high vibration, low vibration, what is your vibration, vibe, all of that. What does that even mean? So here are my 2 cents on this topic. The essence of who we are is a non-physical consciousness, which means it's not physical. This physical perspective that we take on when we're human is because of an adventure that we signed up for to see ourselves from another perspective, from a perspective of limitation. But that physical perspective actually exists within the whole of this non-physical vibration. There really isn't a whole lot from our physical perspective that we can do to know what our vibration is. There are 2 things that I believe are the kind of the only ways. They're probably not the only ways because this is an infinite universe, right? So they're 2 of the ways that I have found and discovered, and the people that I work with have found and discovered, that are indicative of what your vibration is at that moment. The first thing is how you feel. Like, if you haven't explored emotional guidance or emotional resonance, look on the internet, just Google, emotional scale of resonance or emotional guidance scale. It will give you different ideas on what that actually means. Like, what does it mean to this person? What does it mean to that person? What does it mean? To me, what it means is your emotions, which are your feelings, which exist on the inside, allow you to see in real time what your physical, your physically focused consciousness is vibrating at. Like, that allows you to see, because you've actually got 2 vibrations that are happening simultaneously within your human experience. And the first is your non-physical consciousness. The spirit part of you aligns and vibrates with unconditional love. The physical perspective can deviate and go all over the board. It can be everything from completely despondent to joyful and hopeful and abundance-based. Like, you can vary. Your physical perspective varies. Your non-physical perspective does not vary. The real you holds constant a high vibration, which is really just an expanded vibration. And when you expand, you include more in your experience in terms of information, data, understanding, awareness, all of that. So your non-physical consciousness stays in this abundance-based, expanded energy. Your physical perspective, which is one of limitation, can take all these different roads. You can feel jealous. You can feel angry, you can feel hopeful, you can feel giddy, you can feel satisfied. Like, you can take all of these different roads, travel all these different roads, feel all these different things, and indicate to yourself in the moment by moment, real time data where your vibration is, right? Because you've got these 2 vibes. They're relative to each other. Everything is in relationship to this inner stream of well-being, right? Everything is relative to that. And so you can know where you are based on this, point that never moves, which is unconditional love. So that's the first indication of what your vibration is at the moment, right? Like, you're never going to be totally high vibe. You're never going to be totally low vibe. You are going to vary depending on the topic, depending on the day. And it is not a determination of your worth as a spiritual being or a human that this variance occurs. Like, I know there's talk about like masters and ascended masters and high vibe and they're positive. Like, nah, that really is not an indication of whether a person is spiritually worthy, is if they can pretend to hold this high vibe. Like, that's really not the goal, and it's not why you came here. You didn't come here to pretend to be stagnant in your vibration. You came to explore different vibrations, and you can know by how you feel where you are in any given moment and any given topic, what your physical perspective is vibrating at, a constricting or an expanding. Constricting means negative, expanding means positive. You can know. The second thing is what shows up. Now, here's where you got to kind of take a deep breath. What shows up can be viewed from different perspectives. So don't think of this as like a fatalistic law of attraction kind of story. This isn't like what shows up is determining your worth or what you've attracted, or let's just calm down that conversation for just a little while and say what shows up is actually an echo effect, is a late stage manifestation of what your vibration was at that moment. Everything is changing. It's always changing to either more of the same or something different. That is the constant of this universe. So what shows up can be indicative of what your vibration was at some point, or a consistent point. That's what stuck is, right? It's stuck is where you keep going over and over in something again and again. So there's that, and the doorbell just rang. So now I have to think, who's at the door? Who rings the doorbell? And then, so what shows up can be viewed from multiple perspectives. What does that mean? It means you can view it from a constricting perspective of like, oh my God, why is this happening to me? This always happens to me. I must be a bad person. This must be karma. Like, I must be doomed. Like, you can view it from that, or you can view it from a perspective of, what do I need to, how do I explore this? What would I need to believe about myself in relationship to this concept to feel the way I do, which will loosen a little bit of the fatalistic things aren't ever going to work out for me, waiting for the other shoe to drop kind of thinking that happens when something shows up and you view it as worst case scenario. If you view it as proof that things aren't working out for you, then my invitation is let's just loosen that a little bit. Let's shake that loose and view the situation from multiple perspectives and see what changes when we view this situation or circumstance from multiple different perspectives. The other idea that I want to offer is that we are, from a collective consciousness standpoint, evolving to things that are different. So I'll have to get back to that because someone keeps ringing my doorbell.